Welcome to another lesson of Adobe Photoshop. In this lesson, we are going to learn about how we can make a sports t-shirt design just the way people do it. Well, a sport t-shirt design obviously has like a lot of graphics which you can use and a lot of, let's say, texture and a lot of effort they need to put to get a specific result. Okay, so in this lesson, I'm going to be showing you that. And without any further ado, let's just jump into the lesson because this is going to be quite a long one. First stuff I'm going to do is click on new file and open up the file which I'm going to use. Keep it to be 6:9. Click on create. You can see that I have created my file or the document which I'm going to use for this lesson. Now I'm going to do is open up the things, or let's say I'm going to open up the files or the edits which I'm going to use. Click on file, click on open. Also, I'm going to go down and find out the one which I'm going to use, okay, which is going to be this one. Well, this is a pre-built one, so I can also show to you how I'm going to use that, but later on I'm going to show you how you'll be able to do it, from scratch. So I'm going to do is click on select tool. I'm going to do is select on these all parts, which you can see I have selected. You can see it is how it will look like. You can see it how it is. Select this part too. I can increase the size so that I can select all parts together. You can see how it looks like. I can see most of the parts have been selected. Now, as all of it is selected, I'm going to do is zoom in and remove the parts which I'm not going to need. This part I don't need. I'm going to do is decrease the size. It is done. Do the same thing over here, but first I'm going to do select this area. Now, as it has been done, I'm going to do zoom in and remove these areas too. This done. I'm going to do is remove these areas too. That is perfectly done. Click on the clipping mask or make a mask. Take it over to wherever you want to put it, or I'm going to take it over to the page because I'm going to be editing it over here. Now, as I have my logo of the sports design, now obviously I can paste it directly, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to keep it over here. Now, as it has been put, now I'm going to do is obviously I'm going to add up or open up another file. Click on file, open, and I'm going to go down and I have my logo over here, which is going to be, let's say, quite like the sponsors and all of those. So as I have it over here, I'm going to take this part and also this part later on. So I'm going to do is go over here. If you want to crop it up, you can also crop it up. You can see this crop tool. I can like crop it up from over here, and I can use this part only. But if you don't want to use that part, just like only this part, you can also like use using the selection tool. I'm going to show it to you both methods. And now I have this. I'm going to go over here and keep it like this. Okay, as I'm not going to use it anymore. I'm going to do is open up the file which I'm going to use it for the mockup. Okay, if you want to use the mockup, let's say I'm going to put it up on a t-shirt first. Do is open. I'm going to go down and find out the t-shirt or whichever one I want to use. Let's say I'm going to use this one. I'm going to do is take it up over there. Okay. Now I have that icon over here. Press on OK, and I'm gonna do is use this one too. I'm gonna convert to normal layers. I'm gonna do is take it up over here. Press on OK. As this is done, I'm gonna do is zoom it out, or like resize it according to my desire. Now I'm gonna find up a spot where I can put it. Let's say I'm gonna do is keep it over here, or maybe somewhere around here. I'm gonna do is resize it a bit more. I'm gonna paste it right here. What I'm gonna do is there are a couple of other steps, just the way we do it. Going over the blending option. What I'm gonna do is fix up the white parts over here. You can see now it has been blended. Press on OK, and now we have our result. You can see this is how it will look like. Right click on it, go over to blending option. What I'm gonna do is, let's say I'm gonna fix the blending mode to be something different. Let's say I'm gonna do is keep it somewhere over here. I'm gonna fix the blending mode to like pin color or pin light, linear. You can keep them however you want. I'm gonna keep them to be, let's say, dark in color or linear burn, which looks a lot more better. I can see that I have my result. What I'm gonna do is keep it over here, or maybe somewhere around here, wherever you want to put it. After you're done, just press on OK, and then go over layers, convert all of them into smart object. Then you have your result. What I'm gonna do is convert to smart object. Now you have your sport t-shirt design. But if you want to apply more effects, then I'm going to be showing you just from scratch, because now I just showed you from obviously from resources. And I'm going to do is use up another file. I'm going to use Control Z and use all the steps which I did right now, and also put up the back part too, because sports jersey or sports t-shirt have the back parts too. So I'm going to open up a couple more of resources too, which I can use in this lesson. So I'm going to do is delete this and open up more resources. So I'm going to do is click on file, click on open. Now let's say I'm going to do is open up a JPG file, because I don't have a PSD, but I'm going to suggest you to use a PSD file when you're using that. What I'm going to do is go over the downloads, which I have it. You can use this. I'm going to press on OK. I'm going to do is copy these areas and copy these parts too. I'm going to click on layer 1. I'm going to do is go over here, or go over to layer 2. I'm going to do is select the tools, or like use the selection tool to select the parts. What I'm going to do is click on this area, press on Control Z. I'm going to go over the background. I'm going to do select these areas. Now as I have it, I'm going to click on clipping mask. This has been selected. Now I'm going to turn it as a PSD. Now I'm going to do is click on this move option and take it over. Let's say I'm going to do some cropping first. I'm going to do keep it like this, keep it like this. Okay, this is how you'll be able to make PSD files. I can use this front part, click on this move tool. I'm going to do is take it over to the first one. Okay, so I'm going to delete this layer because I don't need it. But if you do need it, what you can do is obviously go back to the first one, but I also have it over here. But as I'm not going to need it, so I'm going to do is press on yes. And I'm going to need this one, okay. What I'm going to do is resize it. Keep it over here. I'm going to get over here and press on Control Z, because I'm going to need that layer, not this layer. I'm going to go up, down. I'm going to do is select on this area too, press on Control Z, because I'm going to take the back part now. I'm going to do is, let's say I'm going to go over there, use the selection tool, and this is the back part, okay? Select the tool or select the t-shirt. Now it has been selected. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to use the move tool. Now, as I don't need any of those, I'm going to do is take it over there. First I'm going to do is crop it up. You can see I have cropped it up. This is how it will look like. I'm going to take this a bit above. Done. And click on this move tool. What I'm going to do is take it above there. Now I have the front and also the back t-shirt which I can use. So in the front is going to be the design of, let's say, some icons and all of those, and in, let's say, and then the back part is going to be the number and also the name. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do is take this icon first. I'm going to take it over there, do is put it over there. I'm going to select on this area, keep it to be smaller, press on OK, click on this layer. What I'm going to do is resize it too. I'm going to zoom in, paste it over, let's say, here. If it's a PSD file, then it's a lot more better to work with. Press on OK. I'm gonna right click on it. What I'm gonna do is rasterize. If you want to rasterize the layer, you can do that. But I'm gonna do is go over to blending option and then blend it a bit more so that it looks a lot more natural. I'm gonna click on over here. I'm gonna do is select this area, select this underlying part or underlying part like this, which I can use. What I'm gonna do is fix this layer too. Do zoom in, press on OK. You can see this is not that okay, but I'm gonna do is right click on it, go to blending option. What I'm gonna do is fix something more. Let's say I'm gonna do is fix this to be more perfect. I'm gonna just press on cancel, Control Z. Now it looks a lot more better. And I'm gonna do is rasterize or select both of them and to convert it into a smart object. Now I have the smart object. Now I'm gonna do is turn this thing. Let's say both, not both. This is the one which is converted into a smart object. What I'm gonna do is, first off, if you feel like you made some mistake, convert it to layers again. Let's say I'm gonna do is convert to like layers if you want to do that. But if you want to like take it up as something else too, you can also do that. Let's say I'm gonna do is keep this up. Right click on it and find if it is doable or convertible into a, like, let's say I'm gonna click on this. I'm gonna do is select on this and layer 2, layer 1. I'm gonna do is keep it a bit above because this is stays a bit above. Now as I'm done with this, I'm gonna do is keep it. Now I can like turn it into a smart object. Now both of them I'm gonna do is convert it into a smart object. You can see this is a smart object now. What I'm gonna do is add in that logo which I'm going to use right now. So now I'm going to use this selection tool and select this part too. Okay, because I'm going to keep it to be selected and I want it to look a lot more professional. Do select this part. I'm going to do zoom in. I'm going to do is resize, okay, the brush. Now it has been selected. I'm going to select this area, decrease the brush size. Increase it a bit. Now it has been done. I'm going to remove these areas too. Select on this plus because I made some mistakes over here. If you do make some mistakes, you don't have to worry. You can like later on edit it too. I'm going to just select this part and use it for my purpose. Click on this. You can see it has been selected. Click on this move tool. I'm going to take it over there. Let's say I'm going to do is keep it over here. You can also put it in the back. That's like totally up to you. But I'm also going to use it as, let's say, a tag. I'm going to do is take it over here. You can also apply texture on your t-shirt. That's like totally up to you how you're going to work with it. Let's say I'm going to do is keep it on the motto or like keep it on the chest. Sport. Okay. This is how it will look like. After you're done, what you're going to do is just press on this click. And you are done with this. I'm going to do is select on these layers too and see how it looks like. I'm going to do is convert to smart object. You can see how it turns into a smart object. And I'm going to do is obviously for layer 2, I'm going to do is add in another layer so that I can add in the number and also the name. Click on this plus tool to add in another layer. I'm going to click on this text first so that I can add in the name first, and then I'm going to add in the number. Click on this text option. Do is click on text. I'm going to do is type on over here. I'm going to do is increase the size a lot more. So I'm going to do is keep it 60. Let's say Jack. Okay. Now, as I've turned it into Jack, and obviously the texts are a bit curved, I'm gonna click on over here. I'm gonna keep it to be arc. Keep it to be something like this. I'm gonna click on text again, press on OK. I'm gonna do select this area. What I'm gonna do is change the font. What I'm gonna do is keep it, let's say I'm gonna keep it to be simple, but also that looks good. Click on over here. Go down or go, obviously see whichever one feels suitable. I'm gonna go down and find out the one which I can use. I feel like I can use these ones, okay? But I'm gonna go down a bit more, and let's say I can use this one, which is a lot more supple than the other one. So I'm gonna use this one. I can see it has been applied. I'm gonna do is select on it or click on this move tool. I'm gonna do is paste it over here. I'm gonna do is double tap on it again or triple tap on it. And I'm gonna do is Control T, Control, resize it. Now it has been done. Control T, click on this, Control T, and I'm gonna do is paste it over here. And I'm gonna do is press on this or right click on it and go over to properties. And you can select whichever color you want to use, or if you want to do it, just triple click on it. I'm going to do is click on this color tool, and you can use whichever color you want to use. Let's say I'm going to go down a bit more, and then let's say I'm going to do is use this color. Press on OK, and you can see the color has been applied. And if you want to add in some blending option, you can do that too. Go over to layers, right click on it, go over to blending option. I'm going to do is go over to blending or like gradient overlay, and you can also have those, but I'm going to do is, let's say I'm going to do is, if you want to add in some strokes, you can do that. But from here, I'm going to do is add in some gradients. So I'm going to click on gradient and select on the gradient which you want to use. So I'm going to go down, select on oranges. I'm going to use this ones. Okay, let's say I'm going to do is keep it like this if I want to use it. Press on OK. As I'm done, I'm going to do is click on it. I'm going to do is add in another layer. This is going to be the number. So I'm going to click on the text. I'm going to click on over here. Let's say this is going to be 11. And I'm going to do is increase it a bit more. Control T, Control. You can see how it looks like. Press on move. Take it over here. What I'm going to do is align it perfectly. You can see it looks a lot more better. Okay, as I'm done, now I'm going to do is obviously merge both of these together. I'm going to do is turn all of them into smart object. Press on Control Z a bit. You can see this part is also a smart object. You can see all of them has turned into a smart object now. I can see, and this is going to be layer 4, and this is the smart, layer 3 smart object group. You can keep it visible and not keep it visible. That's totally up to you. Now you have almost both parts of it. You can see this is kind of like the sport t-shirt, but if you want to add in more content, you can also do that. Let's say I'm going to do is click on it, and I'm going to go over to brush, history brush tool, but I want to use this one. I'm going to go over to brush. Let's say I'm going to do is select on this one again, click on layers, I'm going to select on this. First I'm going to do is convert it into a smart object. Okay, I'm going to do is turn this into a smart object. Okay, or maybe convert to layers. Now as all of them turn into layers, I'm going to go over here, which is going to be layer 3, Control T. This is going to be it, which I can use from over here. I'm going to do is click on this, and I can open embedded, but if you want to add an effect, you can also do that. I'm going to click on another layer from over here, which is going to be this. I'm going to do is add in the brush effects over here. Let's say I'm going to do is click on the color first, right click on it. I'm going to go over to this color section or this brush tool. I'm going to be able to use it whichever one I want. Let's say I'm going to do is resize it or keep it wherever I want. I'm going to swatch it, keep gradients. Let's say I'm going to do is click on reds. use this one, percent control Z. What I'm going to do is be able to add in those contents over here. What I'm going to do is first off, I'm going to click on this brush tool. You can see now I will able to add in those contents, but if it's not a brush tool, then you will see that it will take you directly to something else. I'm going to use this one. What I'm going to do is add in, or like, decrease the size a bit more. Do is obviously add in those effects. You don't have to worry because later on I'm going to be taking them. You can see that it is not being applied outside of the t-shirt. So this is how it actually works. What I'm going to do is make those effects and it's not even being put on. Let's say I'm going to do is Control Z. What I'm going to do is keep it somewhere like this, or keep the design something like this. Now it looks a lot more better. Okay. After you're done, what I'm going to do is click on this right click. I'm going to do is also I can use the brush tool or erase tool to remove the parts which I don't need. What I'm going to do is zoom in over here and remove these areas. You can see it looks a lot more better now. What I'm going to do is remove those areas too. And I can use the part which you want to keep and the parts which you don't want to keep. You can see it looks a lot more better. What I'm going to do is zoom in a bit more and select or remove the areas which I don't need. You can see how it looks like. You can see these parts are removed. I'll do the same thing over here. Now we are done on this part, on this layer. And I'm going to do is do the same thing on the back part. I'm going to go over the layers again. I'm going to convert it into a smart object. You can see smart object here. What I'm going to do is 11, which is going to be here. This one, I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to do is convert to smart object first, or maybe convert to layers first. Now this has turned into a layer. Click on it. I'm going to go over to layer 1, Control T, find out the one which I want to use. All I'm going to do is add in another layer over here. I can see another layer has been made. I'm going to click on this brush tool again. Click on this brush tool. Now let's say I'm going to do is add in those effects too over here. What I'm going to do is start off from this side, which is going to make more sense. What I'm going to do is select on these areas. You can see how it looks like. If you're making a mistake, you can like change it later on. Make sure to keep it over here. Now we are done with this part too. I'm gonna do is after I'm done, I'm gonna do is select on this like eraser tool again. Select on the eraser tool. What I'm gonna do is go down and remove the parts which I don't need. Remove those areas. Go down. Remove those areas. What I'm gonna do is go above. I'm gonna do is remove the hand from over here so that it looks a lot more better. It's like only on the part of the body, so I'm gonna keep the texture over there only. That looks a lot more better. What I'm gonna do is convert all of them into a smart object too. Click on this 11, check, layer 6, layer 2, layer 6. Right click on it, smart object. Now we have both of the layers, also the front part and also the back part of the sports t-shirt design. If you want to add in more effect, you can also do that too. Let's say you want more shapes and all of those. Let's say I'm going to do is click on this icon or select on this tool, custom shape tool. Let's say I'm going to do is from here, I'm going to select on shapes. All right, click on it. Let's say I'm going to do is use whichever one you want. Let's say I want wild animals. Let's say as a motto, I'm going to use something. Okay, I'm going to keep this one. Okay, something like one of those, Puma like icons. I'm going to do is keep it over here. You You can see how it looks like. Click on fill, use it as a black. I'm gonna go to properties. I'm gonna do zoom in. As I'm done, I'm gonna do is go to properties, click on fill, turn that into over here. If you want to like convert it into like something else, you can also use this, options too. Click on this fill tool. But if you want to fill it up, you can also fill that up. That's like totally up to you how you're gonna work with it. But I'm gonna do is right click on it. I'm gonna do is take it above. And you can see it has been applied, or it's like a lot more visible. I can use the move tool to move it wherever you want, but make sure to like move it, gently, because this is like a shape, so you might like change up some directions or change up some points, which will look or like might look weird later on if you don't fix it perfectly. I'm gonna keep it like this, keep it over here. Now you have your result. I'm gonna do is click on this, click on this. I'm gonna do is convert it into a smart object. Right click on it, convert to smart object. I'm gonna do is use the same thing over here. This is going to be another smart object from over here. Now you can see that we have both sides of the sports t-shirt or the jersey. So hope you understood everything about this lesson on how you'll be able to do that without any facing any hassle. But if you want to make up your own like icons and more logo or brands, you can also do that too, but that's like totally up to you. But I just showed you the method of how you'll be able to do that. So hope you understood everything about this lesson, and also thank you for watching this video and for like staying up until the end. So I hope you guys will do good, and if you feel like you didn't understand a part, please let us know and we will guide you through the process. And thank you for watching this video again.